How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to an episode here on Let's Build Twitter. As always, I'm Ethan, or Unknown Coder, your favorite underqualified senior software engineer, and I would like to go ahead and quickly say Happy New Year once again. I finally got back from our 3-week-long trip down to Iowa, or up to Iowa, I guess, and now I'm back in Texas, actually getting to work on these episodes once again. While I was up in Iowa, I did do a lot of work just planning out episodes, so here for the next month to month and a half are all going to be episodes that I've planned out beforehand because I got to work on it a lot without being able to record. So some of the episodes might be a little bit longer, some of them might be a little bit shorter. That's just kind of what happened whenever I did a really large batch of work and try splitting it up as evenly as possible. I didn't really want to do like half a component or half the styling or something just to get time to exactly what I wanted it at. So just keep that in mind. But with that being said, let's go and hop into what we're working on today. Here over the next few episodes, we're going to be working on the profile page. I'm getting it all set up, making it all work. And once we get done with that, we'll move on to like Explorer or back to messages or something, or maybe some odds and ends. But fact of the matter is we've been working on messages a very long time. So let's go ahead and get away from them now that we've basically got them working for the most part. So what we're going to go and be working on today is getting a bunch of utility stuff set up. That way we can get our profile page set up as we get going here. So we are going to go ahead and start on the front end. So that being said, let's go and hop into the code. What we're going to need to go ahead and do is we need to start out inside of our navigation component. That way we can actually navigate to our user. So inside of our navigation component, we want to go down to where we are navigating to the profile. So let's see here. So here we have our messages, we have our list, we have link, we have profile. So now we need to go ahead and set up this link to. So let's go ahead and make this curly braces and backtick. So this is going to be slash and then $sign curly brace state.logged-in question mark username. So if the user is logged in, obviously this is their profile, so it's going to go ahead and navigate to there. Next, we have a whole bunch of post things that don't actually navigate properly and do some weird stuff. So let's go ahead and get those out of the way. So first, let's hop into our individual post. Inside of individual post, let's go to our navigate to profile. Once again, we're going to go ahead and set an E, and this is going to be a react.mouse event. Whoops, maybe mouse event, and this will be on an HTML div element like so. Here, we need to also fix this. This does not go to the correct place. We don't want to go to slash profile. We just want to just go to slash post.username. And then finally, let's go ahead and say e.stop propagation. That way we don't open it up anymore. So that will go ahead and fix that. We had an issue that whenever we're trying to navigate to someone's profile from here, it just wasn't going there. It's going to a blank screen because we had it wrong. And then next, let's actually set it up so we can navigate. So let's scroll down to where the profile picture is, I believe. There should be an image in here. So right here. So we don't actually have any way of navigating. So let's go ahead and put an on click on here. So we'll just clean this up a little bit to make it look a little bit prettier. Go ahead and put that there. Go ahead and bring the source down and go ahead and bring the alt down as well. All right. And then below our alt, we'll go ahead and add on click so we can actually navigate. So on click is equal to, and then navigate to profile. And that one is good to go now. And then we need to go ahead and update our post action bar, because whenever you click on a post action currently, it just navigates you to the individual post instead of actually doing stuff. So let's hop in there. So now inside the post action bar, we want to go ahead and add in the stop propagation. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. Actually, we're going to go ahead and create a new function that prevents default, because right now the on click, there's nothing preventing it just from opening up the page, because either inside of the component itself, I think the post component, there's an on click. So I'm just going to go ahead and go below this reset colors. I don't know if this is where I had it, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead and say const action clicked is equal to an E. It's going to be react.mouse event on an HTML div element like so. And then we're going to go ahead and do one of these. So here we're going to say e.stop propagation. That way it stops it. We say const ID is equal to e.current target. Whoops. .id, and then we're going to go ahead and set up a switch. So switch on ID, kind of how we have it up there, except it's going to be much simpler. So we're going to have a case of reply, maybe case reply. Inside our reply case, we're just going to go ahead and call toggle reply, and we're going to pass in that post, and we'll go ahead and break. We'll have a case for our bookmark. So whoops, book maybe mark. Here, once again, we'll go ahead and say create bookmark, and we'll go ahead and pass in that post. Then we'll go ahead and break once again. We'll go ahead and have a case for our repost. Here, once again, we're going to go ahead and have create repost and then pass in that post. And then finally, we'll have a case. Whoops, actually make sure we break here. Then we're going to have a case for our like. And inside here, we'll go ahead and just say create like, pass in that post, and then go ahead and we can break again. It doesn't really matter. We're not going to have a default or anything. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is come to all of these. So for example, here on click is just going to be action click. So let's go ahead and fix this guy up, delete this. And then this is going to be action clicked. Come down here to create repost. Let's go ahead and fix this. This once again, it'll just say action clicked. So let's try this one out. So get rid of this. And then action clicked. Come down here to create like. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go over to the on click on create like. Get rid of this. This will say, whoops, action clicked. And then there should be like one more action clicked for bookmark. There we go. Create a bookmark. Let's scroll over and put the action clicked in here as well. So go ahead and delete this guy. Say action clicked. We'll have to go ahead and try these out in a little bit just to make sure they're all working. So that should be good. And I think we are almost done with getting all this set up so we can actually navigate to the profile properly. Next, let's go to the post username and make sure we're actually going to the profile properly there. Inside of our post username, we're once again going to go ahead and find and navigate to profile. Here it actually does do author. Let's go ahead and put an E and then a React mouse event, maybe. And this will be on an HTML div element as well. And then once again, we're going to go ahead and stop propagation because this is inside the post, so it tries to navigate to individual post instead. So we'll go ahead and stop that propagation, and this should already be being used. Let's just double check. I actually don't see the on click anywhere. There we go, on click navigate to profile. Cool. So that's everything here. Now I want to go into the profile page, and we're basically going to clear it out because we're going to refactor it and build it from the ground up here in the next few episodes. So let's go ahead and hop into our profile page. So right now our profile fetches profile user. We're not going to be using this. We might end up using this inside of our slice we're going to make in a little while. So we'll go ahead and keep that. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this use effect. We will make a new use effect a little bit later on, but it is what it is. And then let's see here. Post, we won't need. We're going to use something different. Profile user, once again, it's going to come from somewhere else. So we'll get rid of that. We'll keep token and we'll keep username from the parameters. Now let's come down here and clean this up a little bit. So obviously it's not going to have a profile user right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. We're going to reuse a lot of these components. So that's fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and clear this out and just display that we went to some person's profile. So what we're going to go ahead and say is we'll say user name and then -s and then profile. So then we can go ahead and check to make sure that whenever we click on it, it actually navigates properly. There's just been a bunch of utility work. Let's just take a look and make sure everything is still working properly on the front end. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the back end and do some more work that we're going to need for the profile in the future. So let's hop into the front end. Here in the front end, let's give it a quick refresh. Okay, everything seems good. So now if we click on Rick, I guess we didn't actually set this up to be an on click, so that's good to know. If we click on this guy, it takes us to Rick Sanchez's profile perfectly. If we click on the individual post, it takes us to this. Perfect. And then if we come back in here and if we hit maybe once it loads like that, like that, like that, and now whenever you click on those, it doesn't actually navigate you. Before, whenever you clicked on it, it like opened up something weird. So let's just make sure this works. That looks good. Cool. So everything is working the way it's supposed to. So it looks good. So now with that being said, let's go and hop into the backend here and get to work. So we're actually going to be starting out our backend here inside of the pom.xml, and that's because we're going to go ahead and add a new dependency to help us out with parsing the date time. So this is only an issue whenever we send data over and then we're trying to parse it as a string. It's that same issue we ran into a while back. We had to do a whole bunch of mapping and made things look really ugly. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go down to about here, and I'm going to go ahead and hop onto the Maven repository and show you which one we're grabbing. So here on the Maven repository, we're going to look for com.faster xml.jackson and this is going to be data type. Actually, we could probably just look up, Jackson, dash data type. If I could type JSR310, and then let's go ahead and search, see if we can find it. So we want data type 310. There it is, Jackson, data type JSR310. And here we specifically, for this version of Spring Boot, you guys might need to play around. Did not go to it. What's going on here? There we go. For this one, I'm going to grab 2.9. You guys need to look at whatever version of Spring Boot you're using and figure out exactly what version you want. So we're going to use 2.9.10. Let's go ahead and copy this and go ahead and copy to clipboard. Now let's hop back into our Vim. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in there and see if we can go ahead and format. It won't format. Cool. I'll just format it really quickly. Now what I'm going to go and do is I'm just going to save. I'm going to restart the application. That way it can get to dependency and we'll be right back. We are all good to go here. So now let's go ahead and hop into our application user and get some more piece of information inside of there for the profile that we're going to need to display underneath the user's information. So let's go to source, main, Java, com, footer. It's going to be inside of our models, application user. Okay, so this one, it doesn't really matter where it goes. I'm just going to go ahead and put it down here somewhere, probably maybe around organization. So here we're going to go ahead and have an at column, and inside of at column, we're going to have a name equal to, and this is going to be business. So I don't actually know how to set this in Twitter, but it is on Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and just be able to set it randomly, I guess, or hard code it. So it's there. So private string business, have an at column, maybe. And this column will have a name equal to location. Here, nullable will equal to true, maybe. And this one will have a length equal to 30. So this one you can only have 30. Make sure it's actually 30. This will be private string location. I have an at column, and this one's gonna have a name equal to website underscore URL, like so. Here, once again, our nullable will equal to true. This one I think has a length equal to 120 or something. I might have to come back and change that. And this will be a private string website URL. And then finally, we have an at column, and it's going to be name equal to display. Make sure I actually put this inside quotes. Display underscore DOB. This one is not going to be nullable. And then this is going to be private Boolean, and then display birth date. Birth date, like so. So there is our new stuff. Let's make sure we add our comma here to the business so it's not broken. Looks good. Now let's go down to our constructor with arguments. So here we're going to go ahead and just add in really quickly this dot display birth date, and I'll go ahead and set this to true by default. I know there's a setting somewhere inside Twitter to allow you to turn this off. We're just going to set the true, and then if we wanted to hide it, we can hard code to false. That is what it is. Now we need to go ahead and do our getters and setters and add these to our toString. So I'm not going to rewrite our toString because there's too much work there, but I am going to go ahead and delete all of our getters and setters really quick and just rewrite them. So CA, generate getters and setters. Where'd they go? Okay, they went under. That's fine. Let's go ahead and grab this guy and let's move it down below. All of this down below. This is kind of a mess. Hopefully it didn't break any of my getters and setters. So let's go ahead and paste these guys down here once we get to the bottom of this. So now we need to go ahead and add in business. So we'll go ahead and put it under organization. So here we'll have business equal to, and then plus business plus, and then we'll go ahead and have our location equal to, and then plus location, and then we'll go ahead and have our website URL equal to plus website URL, and finally we'll go ahead and have our display birth date equal to, plus display birth date. I'm getting over something right now, so my throat's kind of full of gunk. So sorry if I had to cut a bunch to kind of clear my throat and whatnot, but now this is good to go. Now the fun part, we need to go into our data.sql and add in display birth date, and then also just add in some of these other ones. I believe we set everything else to nullable true, so we really just need to add in birth dates to everything. However, I'm going to go ahead and update our profile, the unknown coder one, to go ahead and add some more information. That way, whenever we're testing and setting things up a little bit later on, it looks a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead and hop into our data.SQL and get that done. All right, so now inside of our data.SQL, let me go ahead and move over on my other screen a little bit. That way I can go ahead and see all the dates that I put. I just put random dates. I basically just like generated random ones. So here under Rick, this one is 2006, obviously inaccurate, 03-15, but it is what it is. Here for Morty, this one says 1998-10-20. Okay, we'll go ahead and do summer next. So summer, what we have is, so summer is apparently younger than Morty, 2002-06-04. That's fine. And then let's see here. I forgot to do, actually, no, I didn't forget to do. So here we'll have 1987-07-13. Whoops, 07-13. So that's a Birdman's or Bird Person's. I don't know why there's a true in there. I must have broke something. And then now for us, what we're going to go ahead and do is, I'm not sure how we're going to end up doing this completely, but let's see here. So after our password, we're going to go ahead and set up a bio. I don't know if this is going to work or not. So I'm going to go ahead and say why. Let's see if this wants to work. I doubt it. So I might actually hop onto GitHub really quick. Yep. Okay. So let me hop onto GitHub and grab this, and I'm going to go and paste it in because there's some emojis and stuff. So inside of our new bio, it's going to go ahead and say part-time gamer, full-time dad, software engineer for Imagineering Company. And it's going to say where we make Imagineering come true. So this is going to go ahead and test out that our emojis are working. So it's going to go ahead and test out that our @ is working. And let me go ahead and fix this. Why are you being like this? Thank you. There we go. Unknown coder is fine here. Except we're going to go ahead and add an emoji once again, just to test that the emojis are working. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste an emoji here. No big deal. And make sure it actually gets put in the right place. There we go. Maybe. Why are we being like this? Just paste my emoji in. Okay, so then true, that's fine. And then here, we need to go ahead and add in a couple more things. So we need to go ahead and add in our birth date on this, or DOB. We need to go ahead and add in a business. We need to go ahead and add in a location. We need to go ahead and add in a website underscore URL. And we need to go ahead and add in display underscore DOB, which technically we didn't need because it's going to be true anyway. But now after we have unknown coder, it deleted our, what is going on with this? This is weird. Anyway, so after our now, we want to go ahead and add in our birth date. So this one was randomly generated as well. 2009. Is my insert like clicked on or something? I don't know what's going on with this. My insert must be turned on accident, which I don't even have an insert key. Let me save and quit here. Something weird's going on. This is still an extra. Something weird with this emoji. It does not like this emoji. Let's just try to get through this. 2009 dash, and then this is going to go ahead and be 02-07, or actually have 27. Okay. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and have business, which I'm just going to put software. Like so. We're going to go ahead and have our location, which I'm going to put outer space. Like so. Maybe. What is going on? Oh my goodness. And finally, I can't get this to work. I don't know what's going on. And then finally, we need the YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and put our YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and try to like restart Vim or something. Something is very strange here. And this is broken AF. There's like double stuff showing up. I don't know what's going on with this. But we have our YouTube channel. And then finally, we need true to go ahead and display. And then this. And this is scuffed, so I don't know what's going on with this. Source main resources. Something always has to go wrong whenever I try to work on stuff, so it is what it is. It's after where that emoji is, so it does not like this emoji, and maybe it doesn't like this emoji either. I'm not sure. Let's try to delete unknown coder, and it might straight up be literally that emoji or this emoji. I don't think it can handle them for some reason. So I don't know what we're going to go and do for that. Unknown coder. I would really like an emoji. Let's grab a different emoji maybe. Such a weird thing because it's not like I'm in insert mode. It's like acting differently. Maybe this doesn't like the dog emoji. So I'm going to go ahead and find a different emoji. See what happens if I put sunglasses in here. Okay, I think it's fine now. Everything looks good. Now we just need to go ahead and update these. And also we need to make sure we put the DOB in here. That way we can actually see the DOB. Okay, so now we just need to go ahead and do these last couple ones. So next up, we have this one. So DOB for Jerry, we're gonna go ahead and put in 19 and 98. Obviously too young, but it is what it is. 02-01. We'll also go ahead and do summer. I don't know why I have display true there. It's gonna display it true no matter what. So it is what it is. Next we have 2008. -08-16. I just did a random generator for these, and DOB. If we want to, we could go ahead and add in display underscore DOB. It shouldn't matter, I don't think, because we should be setting them to true no matter what. But maybe I'll go ahead and do that because I did do it in here. So go ahead and put true, and go ahead and put true. Now after this, whoops, after all of this, I kind of expect it to be completely broken. So I'm going to go ahead and W save, and I'm going to restart the application just to make sure that this wants to actually work. So I have a feeling that we probably broke our data.sql fetching. Yes, we did. Syntax at or near 2009-02. Is that the only one? It's unknown coder, and it's a 2009. So it's mine. I kind of expected that. I'm really stupid. I straight up forgot to delete the second parentheses, and I wonder if that's what the issue was the whole time. Maybe. So let's go ahead and I'm going to re-add in the emoji, and I'll go ahead and re-add in the other emoji as well. Make sure we get rid of this parenthesis. And it's broken again. Terrific. Okay, and I want to try to add in this emoji again. I don't know if it's going to work, and let's see if it works or not. There we go. We're started. We had to get rid of the emojis. I don't know why Vim was being so weird about the emojis, but we have just a little bit more work to do. It's going to be a short episode, but it's going to be like a long episode at the same time because I've been recording forever. But now let's hop back into our code and go to the user controller. We're going to set up a couple things. So inside our user controller, we're going to go ahead and set up our get mapping for the profile. So here, get mapping / username. We're going to go ahead and set this up as profile / username because it's a little bit less ambiguous. We're also going to go ahead and come down to line 109. I don't know if this was an issue I was running into at some point or what, but right here, we're going to go ahead and say if, and then we're going to go ahead and say followed is equal to null. And then we're going to go ahead and actually we're going to say not equal to null. Whoops. Not equal to null. Then we're going to go ahead and do our notification service.send. I don't know if this was an issue I found at one point and it didn't get put in properly or what, but while we're here, might as well go ahead and fix that. So now we're going to go ahead and fix a couple things. We were going to go ahead and work on the profile slice, but I don't think that's going to go ahead and get done today. Let's just go ahead and bring in the data for our user slice, and then we'll probably call it there because this episode's been going a little longer than I'd hoped. I don't want to, make it take super long, so I can go ahead and just move stuff around if I need to. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into our front end and get all this new information inside of our user. Make sure it's loading in, and we'll probably go ahead and call it there. So here inside of our global interfaces, let's go ahead and come down to our user, and below our organization, probably, I don't know exactly where I put this, but I'm guessing below organization, we're going to go ahead and put business, and this is going to be a string, whoops, or null. We're going to go ahead and have our location, which will be a string or null. We'll go ahead and have our website, which is going to be a string or null. We're going to go ahead and have our display birth date, which is going to be a Boolean. We're going to have a create timestamp, which we already have. And we're also going to go ahead and add in following, which is going to be a user array. We'll go ahead and set in followers, which is a user array. Which now that I think about it, I don't know if we ever actually set this up. Maybe we do. So now let's go ahead and hop into a user slice, because now I need to go ahead and update that. Inside of user slice, it's going to be mad. So let's go ahead and come in here. And whenever we actually fetch the user, we need to go ahead and add in all of this stuff. So once again, below organization, we're going to go ahead and say business is equal to action.payload.logged in.user action.business. We're going to go ahead and have our location, which will be action.payload.loggedin.user.location. We'll have our website, and then URL, which will be action.payload.loggedin.user.website, URL. We'll go ahead and have our display birth date, which will be an action.payload, maybe, .loggedin.user.display, and then birth date. And then we also need to go ahead and set the following and followers. So here we'll say followers is equal to action.payload, maybe, .followers. And then our following will be action.payload.following. So now we go ahead and set all that up. I must have spelled website URL incorrectly or something. So location, website URL. Let's see. That seems fine. What's a problem? Let me double check our user. Did I not add? Whoops, I just put website. Make sure we put website URL there. Let's just double check our slice. There we go. Let's save this. Now finally, let's go and hop into our front end, open up Redux, make sure all this is loading, then we'll go ahead and call it here. Fortunately, didn't get as much done as I wanted, but one, I'm running out of time to record, and two, this seems to be getting somewhat long. So let's go ahead and hop into the front end and see where we're at. So let's go ahead and give it a refresh. We might have broken everything. Let's see what's broken. Failed 401, 500, Axios error. What network error is failing here? Okay, let's see. Verify, user/verify is getting a 500. I get a 401 for view all, that's fine. Let's see why user verify is getting a 500. Null value is assigned to a property of display birth date. Okay, so that must be why I was setting display birth date to true, maybe? So do we actually need to set display DOB on all of these? We have display DOB true for both of these, I believe. True, true. We have display DOB true for ours, I believe. Yes. The only one that we didn't set was this one, display DOB. We didn't set it at all. Let's go ahead and put true. Go ahead and put true. This is just a never-ending fun. Once I get back into the swing of recording, hopefully things will go better. I've been away for 3 weeks. I'm a little bit rusty. Let's try to restart again, and fingers crossed. Okay, it started. Let's hop back into the front end. Give ourselves a refresh. Okay, we got our logged in user. It looks a lot better. So now if we go ahead and hop into Redux, so let's go into Redux, let's go and open up a, we want to open in a window. There we go. Now our state should have a user was logged in, and it should have our following. Our followers should also have, let's see here. So we don't have a profile picture now. We'll deal with that later. We have part-time gamer, full-time dad with our emoji. Looks fine. And then obviously I took out the emoji. I might try to put it back in here between episodes just so it's there, and we're not messing with it and being annoyed by it in the nickname, but it is what it is. We have our create timestamp, which isn't going to break anything. We should have our date of birth right here, which isn't going to break anything. So everything looks good. So fortunately we didn't get too much crazy done this episode, but we got a lot of utility work done that we're going to need for future episodes. That way we can hit the ground running going forward. So anyway guys, I think I am going to go ahead and end it here. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, if you guys do want access to a private repository, there's a link in the description down below. Probably should have led the episode with that. If you guys do want to see we start from absolute scratch, there's a playlist in the end card that you see next. So y'all, hope you have a great day. This has been Ethan Uncoder. I'll see you all in the next video.